Good morning, American literature students. Welcome to the second week of our very brief 5-week semester in American literature. All right, so this week's video won't be nearly as long as the two videos I made last week. In fact, for the rest of the semester, you can expect these weekly videos to be very short. And that's because I think I explained everything in the two videos last week that should get you through the rest of the semester that needed to be explained. Okay, so most of you got in your first papers, your Native American Creation Stories papers, where I asked you to compare these stories, all the stories, to Genesis. I know that the Winnebago one may have been a little difficult to compare to Genesis because it's such a short poem, and it's more of an image than it is an actual story, but I'll take that into account as I grade your essays. So this week, getting back to what I was saying about that, most of you got them in, so I'm pleased about that. If not on Friday, most of you got them in over the weekend. And a couple of you, like 2 or 3 of you, actually sent me emails saying that you can't do them yet because you haven't got the book because you mail ordered it, and that's perfectly fine. If you can save a few dollars by ordering through the mail instead of going to our bookstore, I'm all for it. Don't tell the bookstore I said that. But definitely, college is an expensive endeavor, and I know that many of you used up your financial aid during the rest of the year, so you don't have a lot for the summer. And if you can save a few bucks by getting the book through Amazon or wherever you got it from, then I'm perfectly okay with that. So most of you that are in that situation, I think, if not all of you, went ahead and emailed me and told me your situation, and that's perfectly fine. Just get those papers to me whenever you get the books. This week it's early exploration of the New World. It will take us from Columbus up to Sir Walter Raleigh. Here's what I want you to look at. Of course, these instructions are in the folder. There's also a PowerPoint in there that can help you as you read. The PowerPoint actually gives you some of the background information that is not really available in the actual readings themselves. For example, I was very disappointed in the Cabeza de Vaca reading when I found out that they did not have the part where they ran into the slave hunters throughout their journey. I think that Penguin did you a disservice by leaving that out. But since they left it out, then there's no reason for us to get into it. All right. Take a look at the instructions, though. Same page length as before, about 400 to 600 words, somewhere around 2 pages. Notice what the assignment says. It says to explore one, now put it in bold in all caps, one of these 5 themes that are in this reading. So don't try to cover all 5 of these in the paper because you won't do a very good job of it. Nobody would. I wouldn't do a good job of trying to cover all 5 themes in 2 pages. So just pick one of these themes. Now there's going to be some overlap. Say, for example, national pride and Christianity, or national pride and land of opportunity, things like that. So there is some overlap in these. But pick one of these themes and focus on it. Notice that you have to use a minimum of 3 of this week's readings. There were 5, I believe. There was Eric the Red, or there is Eric the Red, something from Columbus, something from Amerigo Vespucci, who America is actually named after him. Something from Cabeza de Vaca, which, strangely enough, is Spanish for head of a cow. So that's what his name means in Spanish. And then something from Sir Walter Raleigh. So I believe those are the 5 readings that you need to actually address these themes from. You need to use a minimum of 3. You can use all 5 if you can, but a minimum of 3. Ideally, what I would probably do is pick 3 of the authors, pick one of the themes, give me an introductory paragraph, 3 body paragraphs, 1 for each author, and then a conclusion to summarize or emphasize anything you think that needs emphasis. And that's it. That's all this assignment is. There's no research involved. Please do not go copy paste anything out of Wikipedia. If you do cite something, go ahead and or go quote somebody. Go ahead and cite it properly in MLA format. Your My Blank English book that you used in English 1102 should have the correct ways to cite. If you don't have a My Blank English book, you can go to a website called the Purdue Owl, and by owl I mean like the bird. Purdue Owl is out of Purdue University, and you can find out how to properly format and cite a quote in MLA there. In fact, I would like to see at least 1 quote from each of these authors that you're going to use. So if you're using 3 authors, there should be a minimum of 3 quotes. That way I can That way you can say, hey, look, this is what the author says, and this is why I believe what I believe. It's always better to cite the author directly, if you can, than it is to just give a summary. Because sometimes when you give a summary, you don't get into analysis, you get more into summary. And the rest of the expectations are listed down here. I went over these expectations in great detail in last week's video about the Native American creation stories. They're the very same expectations. So if you remember those and you wrote to those, then you can write to those again this week and next week and the week after. All 5 papers will be like that. So that's it. That's all I have. So I hope that you enjoy these readings of the early explorers. Only one of them wrote his book in English, and that, of course, was Sir Walter Raleigh. The rest were all written in Spanish or Italian. And then next week we'll get into the American colonists from England. So have a good week. Email me or call me if you have any questions, or drop by my office during my office hours. If you have any questions, the office hours are listed on your syllabus. My contact information is on the syllabus, and I'll be glad to give you any assistance I can.